Morning, guys. William here with Patriot Containers. I'm in the middle of doing all these pricing across the United States of where all the containers are stored, where the shipping lines store their inventory. My number one most viewed video with the most comments and the most thumbs up is what should I put underneath my cargo container? And in that video, I give my opinion on the cheapest, most effective thing, which is called railroad ties. And for some reason, that video is getting a lot of traction, and I like it. And people are finding my YouTube channel from that. I also read the comments, and I comment back to everybody that leaves a comment on that video. And yet, last night I was commenting to somebody, and certain things pop into my head, and I go, "Man, that would be a good video." And this is also another one. So in that video, I go over when you have a container, what you should put underneath it. Some people do nothing, and some people do all different kinds of options. But my opinion is 2 railroad ties. They're cheap, they work great, and they don't break. It's just something easy. But what about this one? A lot of people, they want their containers outside. They want them to be cool. So they put them underneath trees. There's a downside to that. If you put a cargo container under a tree and it rains, all those leaves and all the water and all the dirt is going to drop onto the container, and most of the time it's going to get stuck, kind of like icing, or it's going to get stuck on there. Well, when the rain goes away and the sun comes out, now it's shaded, and you're actually going to rot your container from the top. I get, over the years, people that call me and go, "Hey, I have a container and I want to sell it, or it's for free." I don't sell crappy containers. So even if people want them, I will not show up with a crappy container. So a lot of times somebody will say, "Hey, I have a container for free. All you got to do is come and pick it up." And I go, "Well, I need pictures." They go, "Well, it's free." And I go, "Well, I'm sorry, I don't sell crappy containers. If that thing looks like shit, I don't want it." And so they send me pictures, and it'll be a container underneath a tree. All 4 sides look amazing, but there's major cancerous rust on the top of the container and even holes. I don't want that. Why would I want that container? I don't have customers that want that. So why would I want it, even if it's free? But there are customers out there that somebody will call and say, "Hey, I'll take that and I'll repair it." I just can't sell that crap to my customers. If I did, I'd have complaints all over the place. But yeah, putting a container underneath a tree, you're going to have leaves, you're going to have water, you're going to have dirt that gets stuck onto the top of your container. And when the sun comes out, it's not going to dry, and you will rot your container from the top. So what do? Well, you can put a container out in the open and put maybe a makeshift slanted roof on it to where it's shaded, but all the elements are going onto like a roof shingles or something, and you're not rotting your container from the top. Let's say you do put it under a tree. To be honest, I would want to put a container under a tree so it's nice and shaded. And I had a buddy one time, I had an idea. I've always wanted to do this. I just never did it. I could have done it at my house. I have a new house, and I always wanted underground storage where I can store guns, where I can store ammo, where I can store wine, I can store food rations, I can store those. I'm a prepper. I like prepping. Hopefully I never have to use it, but if in case there is a situation, one day I'm prepared for my family. And hopefully nobody else wants to come to my house and steal my prep stuff, because they ain't getting it. That being said, I've always wanted underground storage. I could have done it at my new house, and I just didn't. But one of my ideas was to bury a 20-footer under the ground to where once it's buried, that the roof is actually the same level as the ground, and then having another 20-footer delivered on top of that perfectly. And then when you fill in the land, it looks like you only have one container. So the only way to access that one down there is you must enter the top one, cut a hole, and have a ladder going down to the bottom one with some type of false flooring where I could go down there with electricity, store stuff that you don't need for like 5 years. Instead of attic storage, it could be underground storage. That's an idea I've always had, but somebody told me, how would you prevent that container from rotting underneath the ground? And it's a good question. My idea, because I'm a perfectionist and I like spending money on good things, I wanted to have a cargo container with that truck bed, that rubber rhino liner. I think that would cost thousands of dollars. And one of my buddies says, why don't you just tar the container, cover it in tar, and you'll have, and then bury it. And I was like, man, that's a good idea. It would seal it completely. So back to these containers underneath the trees. I guess if you're going to put a container underneath the tree, you could get up there with a mop and just tar the whole top of your container, so it doesn't rot from the top, and it's got a thick, like, rubbery seal on the top. And eventually that thing will dry hard and totally protect your container from rotting. And yeah, it's funny. That other video was about how do you prevent your container from rotting from the bottom? Well, what about rotting from the top? Because you could put a brand new container under a tree and it won't last. It eventually will rust, and rust will come through because the sun's not drying it out. It's going to eat away at the paint, and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. So anyways, that's it, guys. Watch out for putting your container under a tree. I get it. I would do it too. But you got to protect that roof from rotting. And it's moisture, it's leaves, it's dirt. It's just going to cake onto that, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And eventually you're going to have a beautiful container that's rotted from the top, and you're going to have problems. So anyways, guys, something to think about. That's what my channel is all about. If you like my videos that I'm providing, give me a thumbs up, give me a subscription, send my video, or send my channel to somebody else looking for a container. I'm here to help. I do the right thing for customers, and I've been doing this for 11 years. So, all right, guys, have a great one. Goodbye.